and welcome to episode number 32 of Tally Benchwarmers. Your unofficial, definitely not expert take on the latest in local sports here in the Tallahassee region, capital city of the great state of Florida. For the next little bit, we're going to be backbenching both college softball and baseball. There's good reasons to be doing that. We got the NBA playoffs we'll be talking about, maybe some NHL, maybe some hopeful, maybe some beach volleyball news. I don't know. We'll talk about that. But for the next 30 minutes or so, here on the bench, I'm David Mullins, the Chief Towel Waver. Chief Towel Waver here at WFSU and on the bench. And I'm joined by Jennifer. No, not Jennifer. Jennifer's not here.
She's a no-show.
She's a no-show. Eric Carter, Assistant Chief Engineer. How's it going, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
We were talking about this. We can just really do the fist bump real easy across
Absolutely.
I thought I saw Jennifer. She must be, maybe she got lost on the way here.
I think she went out for a run.
She went out for a run and never came back.
Yeah.
Missing person alert.
All those numbers she'd be crunching.
She has crunched a lot of numbers lately.
Yes.
She has.
End of the year.
Yeah. We're getting close. Oh, man, yeah. We live in a fiscal year world here. And
yes, indeed.
June 30th, fast approaching us here. We got a budget we got to make here on the Tally Benchwarmers. I think she set a goal like of $1.5 million.
Yeah.
In sponsorship in order for us to
we're just
continue.
short.
We are just a tad short.
Yeah.
Just a tad. But, we got time. We got time. All you got to do is call in. Or just stop by the station with
Email.
a big check. Email.
Smoke signals.
We'll take smoke signals. Anything.
Yes.
Anything that has a dollar sign attached. Have you ever seen a smoke signal with a dollar sign?
Yes.
Oh, no, my God. Man, that's kind of cool.
It's in the cartoons, though.
That is, yeah. Road Runner. Okay, sorry. Hey, before we talk about some fun stuff here on campus at FSU and over at FAMU, a little water cooler talk as we do here at the beginning of the podcast.
Absolutely.
We've got at least the NBA conference finals set, right?
Yes.
Your Knicks are there.
Yes, my Knicks
Your Knicks are in.
Took down the Boston Celtics.
Yeah,
The defending champs are no longer defending.
So it was Game 7, right?
Game 6.
Game 6. So Game 6, they were home then?
Yes.
Knicks were home.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be. Although it is a lot sweeter actually sometimes if you win on the other.
Well, either way, they would have
been
been at the Garden.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I didn't realize that. Okay. So they had the.
Well, say you would have been the Boston Garden or the
or
Madison
the
Square
Garden.
Garden.
Either garden. Yeah. But one's got the parquet, the floor,
the
that
better one
magical,
is in Madison Square.
The magical parquet floor where if you're a home team, you know exactly where those boards are that the ball
that creaks.
The creak and the ball takes a wild bounce.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I remember all those stories back in the Laker Celtic days.
Yes, they had the heated discussions.
So heated discussions. That's one way to look at the way. Yeah. Oh man. I remember Kevin McHale. Man, McHale always seemed like a nice guy, but man, he was always in fights. He could
him and
Parrish.
Parrish.
Yeah, Chief.
Yes.
Yeah. So the Knicks took out the Celtics in Game 6. The Cleveland Cavaliers got just smoked by the Pacers.
Yes, indeed.
They got smoked.
Yeah.
The team that everybody all during the season was saying it'll be a Cavalier Thunder finals.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that's going to happen.
That's not going to happen. And maybe even on the West, it may not happen. But so Pacers, Celtics in the Eastern Conference Championship. The
Pacers,
Thunder,
Knicks.
Excuse me, Pacers, Knicks. See, you good. Thank you for
I don't want nobody to turn away from us.
Yeah, but you got to have accurate information on this podcast.
Absolutely.
So Pacers, Knicks. What do you predict? Knicks in 5, Knicks in 6.
I would like to be in 5
because
that way you do it on home court.
Okay.
But
but you are predicting a Knicks victory.
Absolutely. I don't care if it takes all 7.
How long has it been since the Knicks have been to the NBA Finals?
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Like 2001. It's been a while. It's been a long time.
It's almost back. Is it back to the Ewing days?
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
That's a while ago.
That's a while ago. Yeah, yeah. Patrick is like a great grandfather now or something.
Yes.
Maybe not great grandfather, but
Close enough.
I liked Ewing. I really did.
I did too.
Yeah, liked him at Georgetown too.
I did also.
Yeah. So on the West, Thunder, Nuggets went to a Game 7. The Thunder just had too much thunder for him, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
A little too much.
Yeah, Joker didn't have anybody to support him.
Well, yeah,
like.
Joker did his thing.
Yeah.
Westbrook didn't
do his thing. No.
So he was by himself.
Yeah.
That was the second quarter that did Denver in.
Yeah.
They scored. They allowed OKC to score like more than 40 points. And you give a team 40 points in a quarter.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, can't come back from that. And then I was kind of pulling for the Warriors against Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it felt like this. I don't know if Butler's coming back, but it felt like this could be maybe that last run for Steph. But
I think Steph has another 2-3 years in him.
Yeah, but he's got to get some quarters. But if it would have been a different series if Steph hadn't gone down.
I agree.
Right.
I agree.
He missed the last 3 games.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, he missed the last 4 games.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was, tough to win.
First time in this Golden State run that they lost 4 straight playoff games.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. So, hey, we'll see what happens with them next year.
Yeah. So we've got then our NHL. I want to just talk NHL real quick because I have not watched a lot of hockey, but I was at a meeting in Atlanta and got home go back to the hotel room and saw the last period of, actually the last couple of minutes of the second period, and then the last period of Sunday night's. Excuse me, Sunday. What's today?
Today is Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday. I always say when we record this and all this information, and I forgot to.
It's a Monday.
We always do on Monday, but today we did on Tuesday.
Special edition
of the podcast. I should have introduced that. Maybe we should start all over, and I introduced this as a special edition. No, okay, never mind. But saw the Panthers, and it was just a dominant performance. Even
it was
in the
pandemonium.
Yeah, and a panda. But that Game 7 was in Toronto, and man, the Maple Leafs, their fans were booing them in the third period. So my Panthers, I'm going to claim my Panthers. I lived down in South Florida for a long time. Was there when the Panther franchise started up, and I remember back when they were in the finals against Colorado, the Avalanche, and I think it went to seven games. And oh man, that was when the Rats. That was the year that the Rats started. So Anyway, so Panthers play the Carolina Hurricanes, which seems like that just is awkward. It always, if any team in any sport is going to have hurricanes at the end of it, it seems like it should be a Florida team.
Right.
I can't.
Well, you got to think about it like this, and the reason it fits for Carolina is because they get a lot of heavy winds off that coast there.
Okay.
So when the hurricanes actually come up, it kind of skirts and hits that area right there.
It can skirt, and you're right, but still.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
But, I mean, the Panthers logo is much cooler than the Hurricanes. So give them that. And the Dallas Stars against the Edmonton Oilers over in the West. Canadians, the folks from that 51st state. No, I didn't say that.
That extra territory.
That extra territory up to the north on the other side of the border, on the other side of that straight line and kind of wiggly lines up to the north on a map. Have a 1-in-4 chance to win the Stanley Cup for the first time in 20+ years. It seems like. So if you're a Canadian fan, even if you're not an Oilers fan, you got to root for them, right? Because
I think maybe the tariffs got him this year.
Yeah, those tariffs were tough to deal with.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Panthers, Hurricanes, Stars, Oilers, and now we start that. Oh God bless us all! It's going to be like 6 weeks of now final conference finals play, and then
hockey finals,
hockeys, and then the championship, because they just spread these playoffs.
The championships usually end just before the 4th of July.
It's one way. Yeah. So for the sake of you and I, Heck, we may just shut this podcast down for a while because at some point, what are we going to be talking about? Oh, 2 more games in the NBA playoffs happened this past week. Oh God. Oh well. Anyway, it's time to move on. I move on to the war chant just makes me want to do this, right? Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Our Knowles and the news of the Knowles and all sorts of sports.
Absolutely.
We'll start with golf. Remember
there is that
week?
sport called golf.
There is.
Yes. Our men hosted the Tallahassee region.
When we were here last in the studio last Monday, I
gave live updates.
That's a live update on first round, I believe.
The first round of the Tallahassee regional.
So what happened?
Well, our Knowles, the number 11th ranked Knowles, they dominated the regional.
Yeah.
When I say they dominated the regional, they combined for a 29 under par on the 3 days. They beat Southern Miss. Southern Miss came in second, and they beat them by 9 strokes.
Yeah.
That's big. That's a big lead.
Yeah, that's a Tiger win.
Yes.
Almost, yeah.
Yes. They opened up the first round with a 14 under. Then they had a 7 under second round, and then they had a 9 under third round.
Sweet.
Yes.
That's sweet.
Yes. Yeah. But Luke Canton, he won the Ben Hogan Award.
Okay.
And he's the second Knoll to do that. John Pack did it back in 2021. Ben Hogan Award goes to the top men's golf player in the NCAA. Luke also became the first player since Joe Patton in 1957 as an amateur to record 2 top 10 finishes in back-to-back matches that they had. He did that. He placed second in 2024 in the John Deere Classic and 10th in the Rocket Mortgage Classic in the next match.
Wow.
Yes.
So I think this young man is probably going to be seeing some checks coming his way with lots of zeros behind it.
Yes, he's already has his exemption card for the PGA Tour.
That's great.
And got plus 20 points on it already.
That's great.
So he's doing his thing.
So we advanced to the NCAA championships.
Right,
now,
the 30-team tournament that starts
starts the 23rd.
Yes. And I think our men will do good.
You think so?
I think they'll do good.
Okay. And this is in Carlsbad, California.
Carlsbad, California.
Yeah.
There's another thing that happened in Carlsbad this week.
What happened?
Ladies golf.
Oh, the ladies golf happened there too. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. The number 4 seeded Lady Knowles, they went in as the number 2 team in the nation, but they got the number 4 seed going into the quarterfinal round because they've been out there doing their thing. The NCAA Player of the Year, Tang, she came in second in the individual standings with a 10 under for 4 rounds. She shot 278.
Wow.
She shot first round of 70, second round of 71, the third round of 69, and finished out 4 under par with 68.
Wow. She
was 2 strokes behind Maria Jose Marin from Arizona, who won the individual with the 12 under 276.
Sweet.
Yes. So now they go into the dreaded match play.
Oh.
But I think they'll do good. So hopefully we'll have an update.
Maybe so. Next week we'll have an update.
That they actually pulled it out.
Yeah. All right. Go ladies.
Go ladies.
Go ladies.
Go ladies.
We were on the track, were we not, too, this past week?
Yes, we were. There was some track news that happened. The Seminoles competed in 17 finals in the ACC championship.
Was that in Jacksonville? No. That was up in North Carolina.
Yes.
The meet the week before was in Jacksonville.
That's
right?
correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. And the Kevon Tatum and Shanice Walker were named the ACC Most Valuable Performers of the meet.
Wow.
Our track team is
Now, but I think we'll talk about this. But our teams didn't actually win the men and women's side of the meet.
No.
But we had the most valuable performers.
Right.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. you come to FSU and you run track,
Yep.
you'll get some accolades.
So Mr. Tatham is a jumper.
Yes.
Triple jump, long jump. Have you ever triple jumped?
No. Not on purpose, though.
Yeah. I've tripped a lot in my life.
Triple tripped, and stumbled,
and then kind of made some jumps. But
yes.
But no, I long jumped back in. I jumped back in junior high school.
Wouldn't say it was very long.
It wasn't very long, but I actually, I ran, hit the board, hit the sand, and then coach says, "Okay, next." So.
I've never got that. I ran the 100, and I ran the 4x1s. So
did you?
I never did what they would consider the end track stuff.
Okay, well, were you first, second, or third leg?
I was third leg.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like to run the curve, huh?
I like to run the curve and maintain a lead.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, so maintain the lead. And
that's
then
right.
did your anchor take it home?
Absolutely.
All right. Good for you. Good for you. Oh, we digress. I'm sorry.
Yes.
So Tatham was the men's long jump. He won the long jump and placed sixth. Excuse me, in the triple jump and placed sixth in the long jump.
Right.
So, great. That is tremendous. And Walker as the women's MVP, double victory in the sprints, huh? So
she's doing her thing.
Won the 200 meters, 22.72.
She was smoking.
She was running that track.
Absolutely.
Yeah. 3 medals, 7 gold.
7. Wow.
Total of 7 gold.
Wow.
Oh, but also remember that kid we've been talking about, Mackay Danzy?
Yes.
Who is on the football team, right?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. That young man.
Yeah.
Is the first one to win a first two-sport athlete to win a gold medal here at Florida State.
44-38 in the men's 400 gold. He's a freshman too.
Yes.
And that is, I can't wait to see him on the field. I love track and field, but I can't wait to see him on the football field.
Yes. Hopefully his hands are as great as his feet.
Well, or maybe Tatham teaches him how to jump, and as he's up in the air, and if his feet are just so dynamite, he can kind of come up. As long as you catch the ball, doesn't matter how you catch it. Catch it with your feet, come down.
Yeah, but I'd rather catch it with his hands.
I'd rather catch it with his hands too. I have a feeling if he's on the team, and if he is a wide receiver on the team, you have to assume he's caught the ball a few times, hopefully.
Well, yeah, he came here as a football player first.
There you go. Okay.
So,
See, you know about this.
He came here as a
football
player
first.
Making
stuff up as I go here.
We've seen NFL teams pick up track stars.
Yeah.
And the results weren't too great. Ronaldo Nehemiah back in the day for the 49ers.
But Ronaldo, he was a hurdler.
Right. But he was fast.
But he was really fast. He ran the 400 hurdles,
yes.
Right? Yeah, he's fast.
He was fast, but he couldn't take a hit.
Yeah.
His career was real short.
I know Dion played baseball, but did Dion run track?
Yes, he did. Actually, here at Florida State, he would leave the football practice, go run track, and then come back to football practice.
Yeah. Was he 100 and 200 sprints?
Yes.
Is that what he was?
Yeah. He was really, really fast.
Okay, so maybe you need a sprinter like, Dion could be maybe Dion gives this kid some, and probably then tries to convince him to come to Colorado. But
some pointers and some
pointers. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see how things progress here with now our golf teams. Forgive me for not knowing, but there are NCAA championships in track and field too, right? So
yes, there are.
Teams can move on, and then are you aware if your team doesn't move on, can you move on? Is this an individual sport, an athlete?
Yes. What happens is after the NCAAs, then you have like the World Championships, and then depending on how great you do, you can qualify for those. Because a lot of the college teams, especially the females, they actually run in the World Championships out there, usually in Eugene, to try to make the U.S. team.
There you go.
Yeah.
Eugene, Oregon, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's the for most of my life, the only thing that you recognize Eugene, Oregon about was for the championships to go to the Olympics, the
Right.
Olympic trials
For
and stuff.
track.
Yeah.
And the Nike.
Really?
Yeah, it's out there in Eugene.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
How about that?
That's why the Ducks get all those nice, pretty uniforms.
Oh gosh, yeah.
That's their sponsor.
Yeah. Well, there's lots of money in that Nike brand. There's a lot of money.
Absolutely,
You know?
absolutely.
We've got a Tally Benchwarmer brand that we're
That's
trying
right.
we're trying to monetize as best we can. We're a few steps behind Nike.
Half a step.
Half a step behind Nike. That's what,
Absolutely.
if you're half a step behind Nike, that's not bad.
Yeah.
So hey, let's talk about some stuff that just happened over the weekend here in the softball and baseball world. Our ladies. Our ladies are doing what they need to do in the regional. And we hosted the
Absolutely.
regional, right?
Yes, we had the Tallahassee Regional here this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, good weather, hot as heck, but
Yes.
good weather.
Good weather for the balls to travel.
Yeah.
And there was
Yeah,
a lot of balls
yeah,
that
a lot of balls
traveled.
traveling. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, indeed. But Our Lady knows that their thing. They hosted the regional. We had Auburn here, USF, and Robert Morris.
First two games we run ruled.
Right, 10-1.
Run ruled. That's hard to say. Something run ruled.
That's a tongue twister.
It is. It's like a lip twister. I don't know, but yeah.
Robert Morris 10-1 Friday night and 8-0 over USF, which, they shocked Auburn.
Yeah.
They shocked Auburn in the first games with a 12-7 win in 9 innings on Friday.
Yes, and that's otherwise. Well, actually, I guess it still would have had to. We would have had to play 3 games against Auburn if Auburn came in with not a loss. Then
We would have had to play Auburn, knock them down.
Yeah,
and then
we would have had to beat Auburn twice,
Right.
right? Yeah, but as it turns out, we only had to beat them once. So,
which is a beautiful thing.
yeah, beautiful thing.
Yes. But
We lost that first game against Auburn.
we
That
sure
was
enough
not
did.
typical Knowles lady.
No, we scored
softball.
first.
Yeah, but yeah, it's 8 runs. I mean, we lost 8-3.
8-3, yeah. And then we got revenge
Yeah,
when it mattered, when everything was on the line. A winner take all.
yeah, it's doubleheader, right? Winner take all. The second game we had to end 4-0. We won that one 4-0.
Yes.
That's-
Edenfield.
Yeah.
She hit it to Area 51.
51. I love that. Yeah, they'll never find it.
They'll never find it.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
indeed.
funny.
So, yes,
Yeah.
now we host the Super Regionals against number
we were
12
hoping we
Texas
would,
Tech.
right?
We talked about that.
Absolutely.
Number 12 Texas Tech comes into town, and that starts on Thursday
That's so this weekend. By this weekend, we'll know if we're going
to
to
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Yeah,
Yes.
is it Tulsa or is it Oklahoma City?
Tulsa, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's
Mm-hmm.
yeah, okay. Or no, I guess it would be Norman.
No, it's actually
Norman.
is Norman. It
It's
is actually Norman.
Yeah,
Yes, that's where it is.
For whatever reason, I forgot that the OU was in Norman, not in Oklahoma City.
Right, and
yeah.
they basically play on the field where the tournament actually runs.
Yeah, and Oklahoma is hosting probably its own super regional.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
They won their super regional also.
They're ranked first in the nation, or are they
Second.
not? Second.
The first, who was ranked number 1 in the nation? Remember that team that came and kind of spanked us around, the women's?
Oh, really?
Texas A&M.
Yeah, that's
the
that
first
was,
team in history as a number 1 seed to lose to a number 4 seed in their regional.
Yeah.
Liberty.
Liberty beat them, right? Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Liberty.
I
And Texas A&M had to struggle to keep Liberty from beating them the first game.
yeah. So crazy talk, man. That's crazy. Now,
Crazy
I've got a little story. I used to work at Liberty University. I was back in the day. I was a television director.
Ah,
I sat behind
in your former life.
Yeah, in a former life. Yeah, and I directed the Jerry Falwell television program.
Oh,
And he founded Liberty University, so we were right there on the campus, and that was in the early. I mean, this is back in 1987, 88. at the early stages of Liberty University's athletic program, and they become relatively dominant in football
Yeah.
and now in softball. I think they've had a good baseball team.
Absolutely,
too.
absolutely.
So anyway,
That was the early stages of cable television, too.
it was, is there
The early stages of a lot of
it's
things.
early stages of a lot of things. Yeah, I mean, some people
I think we just switched over to gas-powered cars.
That's right, and indoor plumbing.
Yes.
Yeah, all sorts of stuff back when I started back in the day. Anyway, so
Absolutely.
Liberty, what a big upset. But so we are going to host Texas Tech,
Right.
the Red Raiders.
They have a
And-
phenomenal pitcher.
Do they?
Yes.
Well-
she throws close to 80 miles an hour.
Oh wow! So I mean, unlike baseball, a fast pitch softball pitcher can maybe not that next day, but she could probably pitch
No, she can pitch back-to-back games.
back-to-back games.
Yeah.
I was thinking that it really took enough on their arm that they needed at least a day rest.
No, she can pitch.
Oh, so
she
that's
can
not-
pitch all 3 games if they need her to.
Oh my God! Well, okay,
That's a lot of
Well,
pitching, but she can.
that is, and once you've seen 80-mile-an-hour fastballs, 4 or 5 or 6 times, surely you start getting the rhythm.
Yeah, but she has a really good off speed.
Oh, of course she does.
So it
Yeah.
makes it hard to, when the motion's the same, it makes it hard to pick
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, I'm talking like I should know. I mean, I can't even hit slow pitch softball, so forget about that. Okay, so we host Texas Tech, but the men had some challenges,
Had a rough week.
had a rough week, but
salvaged
salvaged
the
it.
weekend with it was, like I said, a tough weekend. We
Yeah.
dropped the first 2 games to
dropped the first 2 games, man, really badly, kind of.
Yeah,
against North Carolina.
8-3 loss Friday, 11-1 loss,
Oh, that
run
was-
rule
Oh yeah,
on Saturday.
Yeah,
on Saturday.
yeah, yeah. But we came back.
Yes.
We needed the win. We really needed that win.
Yeah, we salvaged a number 2 seed in
Uh-huh.
the ACC tournament with a 5-4 win on Sunday, which got us a double bye.
Good.
In
We
the
need.
tournament.
I think maybe we needed that. Yeah. Seeded second in the tourney. Georgia Tech ahead of us,
Yeah.
and we were talking about Georgia Tech. I don't know that we played them yet this year.
No, I think that we were scheduled to play them
Yeah.
that week that we had the incident on campus.
Yeah.
Right,
And so that never happened. So that'd be kind of cool to meet them in the championship
that would be
round, right?
But as it pairs up that if we get to that semifinal round,
Yeah, we played North Carolina.
if
Or
North
maybe
Carolina,
yeah.
there's a possibility we
Yeah.
could play North Carolina in that semifinal round and
So that way,
exact some.
we would need to do that.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe and two wins, just boom boom.
Yeah, well, it behooves us to do very well because that way we'll most likely get a regional, but we want that
Yeah.
super regional.
Yeah,
We want that super regional here in Tallahassee.
that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got more to talk about baseball and softball. We've also got some fun stuff to talk about those Rattlers, right?
Those Rattlers, baby. Go Rattlers.
Those Rattlers. I wish that I had
You had
that
your little
sound
rattle. You
effect.
gotta have your
I
rattle,
gotta
man.
have my Rattler.
You have to get your rattle.
I've got this. I
got your
the
towel.
I need to, just give me like an orange and green towel and we're good to go.
Put a little rattle in it.
Put a little rattle in it. So
Absolutely. We want to talk about that men's baseball team.
Well, wait a second. We do want to talk about the fact that that they had their golf team that was in this Tallahassee regional.
That is very true.
We were pulling for them.
Yes, we were.
But that didn't work.
No. They ended up out of the 14 teams that were in the regional, they ended up 14.
Oh man, that hurts.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping that they would make it the 5-team cut and head out to Carlsbad, but
Yeah.
it wasn't in the cards this year for them. But they had a very successful year.
Yeah.
They were the HBCU national champs and the
Schwack. The Schwack
champions.
Yeah, so they had a good
Yes.
season as a team. So
Absolutely. Very proud of them.
uh,
This is a
hats off.
local
If I
team.
could take my hat off, I'd take my hat off to them. But
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Always proud of our local teams.
Uh-huh.
They always do well.
Yeah.
But like I said, we're going to talk about those red hot Rattler men.
Oh yeah.
They ended their regular season, on an 11-game win streak.
Sheesh.
Yes.
Say that again.
An 11-game
11-game win streak
Yes.
to end the season.
Yes, indeed. Those men,
Sweet.
Those men did their thing, and when I say they did their thing, they they swept Alcorn State.
Mm-hmm.
They won the first game on Thursday, 4-3. Second game on Friday, 14-2 in 7 innings.
Ooh, sweet.
And then 9-3 on Saturday.
Yeah.
They're the number 2 seed in the upcoming SWAC tournament, which begins on Wednesday. They play number 7 seed Southern University.
So who's the number 1 seed in the
Bethune-Cookman.
Bethune-Cookman. Okay.
That happened because Bethune came and swept the series against us.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So Birmingham is where the SWAC tourney is happening.
Yes.
So we should know by next week. I'm thinking about next week's podcast. We should know the results of all of these
baseball tournaments
and the softball, both baseball tourneys and the.
Well, we should know if the women are heading to Oklahoma.
Right. We'll know how badly that they beat Texas Tech. How's that?
I will go with that.
I'm looking,
and we'll know if the men if the men are doing their thing.
Yeah.
And I want 2 men's teams in these NCAA regionals.
Do you remember? Have we ever had that? Have we ever had both teams in
I don't think we had both
NCAAs?
teams in the same regional.
Yeah.
In the same regional.
Yeah.
Both teams have made the regionals before,
but been different. Yeah.
Right.
That'd be kind of cool, though.
Yeah. I wouldn't want them in our regional because that means that they'd have to go home real quick.
One of them's going to have to go quick.
Right.
But,
so.
But we'll and then
maybe they could be another Liberty.
They could. Yeah.
Go into that Gainesville regional.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Take down the Gators. That would be great. Yeah. Now the women's softball team their season now is over.
The Lady Rattlers, they didn't make the round of 64 for the women's regionals. So, but they had an excellent season.
Good for them.
They had an excellent season. They won the regular season championship.
Yeah.
Got into the championship game.
Yeah.
Lost to Jackson Southern.
Yeah.
So, but hats off to the Lady Rattlers.
Yeah.
They did their thing, and we're very proud of our teams here. I'm always boast on our teams.
Yeah.
Oh.
Double whistle. I don't know if he meant a tech or not, but that was Taylor Cox giving us, I think, either a technical foul on something. I don't know. Oh, I know what it was. I think he did a technical foul because he was afraid I was going to talk about this.
Yeah.
We've had some beach volleyball, some success on the ladies' side this season, and then the season didn't end quite the way that we had hoped for it.
Absolutely.
Now Taylor's daughter Addie, she was primed for a beach volleyball camp here on FSU campus. And they decided they weren't going to hold the camp. I guess they either saw her as someone who she could be too competitive against these college players.
Yes.
Because she's, I think, 9th grade, Taylor, is that what I'm saying? So otherwise, I think, but in a few years, maybe we'll be talking about Addie Cox as spiking
the number one. Number one Knoll.
The number one Knoll. So anyway, okay, enough frivolity here. Hey,
on the way out the door, you got to mention.
I forgot. Hey, the cap we got here on here, and we were last week. I was begging people, please just contact us. Right? Somehow contact us. We got contacted, and a young man named Connor is going to take home this cap. Although I think, Connor, I know that you live in the Tallahassee area, so I'm going to make you come get it.
Absolutely.
Maybe we'll even have him on set here, and we'll give him the cap.
I think that would be awesome.
We'll try to work that out. In the meantime, if you want to drop us a line, tallybench.wfsu.org, or just, again, make a comment on the podcast on the YouTube page, right?
Yes, indeed.
Hey, big fist bump to Eric and
Appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
We held it down.
We did our best. So we'll see you next week. And see you next week on Tally Benchwarmers.